G'day, Nick Goldschmidt here. I'm sorry I'm not going to be in Ichiban on April 21st this year, but really excited to have our wines being poured at the dinner. Thank you, Jonathan, for reaching out to us. A real pleasure to be part of the dinner. So the wines that you're going to be showing tonight, the first one will be Boulder Bank, which is a vineyard that we own in Marlborough in New Zealand. I am from New Zealand, even though I've lived in California for 32 years. I still own property in New Zealand, and Boulder Bank, Fitzroy is the name of my uncle. Hence the name. The stones come from the vineyard, and the flax is the native dress of the Maori many years ago, of course, and so we celebrate that on this wine. The wine is not your classic New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. It's not asparagus and grassy. This is a little bit more subtropical, sort of nectarine and melon and characters like that. So destined for the US palate, not for the British palate. The second wine you're going to try is Singing Tree Chardonnay. This is a single vineyard Russian River Chardonnay. Very old vineyard on a sandy loam soil, so there's no phylloxera. So if you remember, a lot of vineyards were replanted in 1990 due to phylloxera. This vineyard was never replanted because it was on this beautiful, beautiful thin soil, powdery soil, very low organic matter, very restrained. And you see that in the wine as well. A lot of mineral, a lot of graphite, and you get that factor. You want to go back and have that second glass. Really, really unique wine, and certainly not one that you find very common. No clones, because most Chardonnay today is made of clones, clonal plantations. Not here. This is an old field selection, and this vineyard is well over 30 years old now. The next wines you're going to try are wines that I make with my daughter. The first one is Chelsea. When she was 2, I traced around the head and then she colored it in, and that's where the label comes from. So I started making wine with my children in 2000. We make wine without electricity, and we make 1 barrel a year called 5 Gold Hands, Goldschmidt, Gold Hands Unplugged. And in 2002, Chelsea wanted to start making wine with me. So it's just an amazing project. A father-daughter project is just, it's gone on, and thanks to this project, I have a really great relationship with my daughter. This is a Merlot vineyard that has been with me now for 30 years, since I was the winemaker at Simi and other wineries during my corporate career. But the key element is it has a little bit of clay, so you don't get too much dehydration on Merlot, because Merlot berries weigh a lot more than Cabernet berries. So it's really important to have this berry remain in full turgor all the way through to ripening, so that when we bring it into the winery, we can extract the heck out of it. So this is a Cabernet Drinker's Merlot. It's fantastic. The second daughter is Catherine, and you'll notice that she faces a different direction on the label because she's the middle child. She thinks outside the box. She's the one that challenges your father. So this is also a vineyard that I've been working on since 1990. I have wine back to 1990. And I think it's really important to have history. And you know how wines move from purple to red to brown to orange. I can show you this wine that I made in 1990, and it's still in the red color. It has not gone brown or orange. You will not see any crusty stuff here on the side of the bottle either. So I know that this wine's going to last 25 years. Just a great, great bottle of wine. Excuse me. And you'll classic Alexandra Valley Cabernet, red fruits. You're going to get sort of red cherry, blueberry, black cherry, and you get good acidity, because remember, Alexandra Valley is cooler than Napa Valley. So you get a little bit more brightness. This is a wine that you drink with food, whereas Napa Valley is a wine that you normally drink with the cheese course after dinner, because it's heavier and fuller, whereas Alexandra Valley is brighter and more lean. Speaking of Oakville, Napa Valley, the next one you'll have is Hilary. She's my youngest daughter. And this vineyard is really unique. It's right between Opus and Nickel across the street from Mondavi and Napa Wine Company. So it's in the heart of the Napa Valley. I chose Oakville because Oakville gives me a lot more silkiness, round tannins, fleshy, and just really unctuous. And this is probably the best value Oakville Cabernet on the market. This just got a 92 from Suckling and a 91 from the Wine Spectator. And this just got a 92 from Suckling. So anyway, all big scores. But the wine of the night will be the Forefathers Cab. When I came to California, I really appreciated the constitution that you had, but I wrote my own one about fish-friendly farming, making wine organically and biodynamically, which is, I have degrees in those. And so that's what's faded out on this label. forefathers, meaning the best appellation for that variety in the New World. A pair of boots that I used to wear when I was a winemaker at Simi, walking around vineyards. This is John Hancock's signature I stole from the Constitution and changed to my own, and Lone Trees, the name of the vineyard. Beautiful east-facing slope, rich, powerful, unctuous. This is the one you take to the bunker when they drop the nuclear bomb. Enjoy. It'll be a great evening. Cheers to Ichiban and Jonathan.